Hello students, welcome to today's class. In this lecture video, we are going to discuss about another asset pricing model, that is arbitrage pricing theory. Now let us see the lecture objectives. To discuss about arbitrage pricing theory, finally at the end of the class, you will be able to understand and apply the arbitrage pricing theory in real markets. Now, arbitrage pricing theory. It was developed by the economist Stephen Ross in 1976 as an alternative to the capital asset pricing model, which is considered as by then the one of the most important asset pricing model available. But unlike this capital asset pricing model, wherein it assumes the markets are perfectly efficient, but in fact, there are some times where there are chances the markets are going to be even inefficient also. And that's the reason why the arbitrage pricing theory came into picture. The arbitrage pricing theory understands that the markets sometimes can go even inefficient as well, and gives the opportunity to various traders to encash profit from the markets. So, assuming that there are some situations where the market can give the opportunity for making profit. By taking this particular thing or phenomena into consideration, the arbitrage pricing theory is proposed. And the using this arbitrage pricing theory, the arbitrageurs hope to take advantage of any deviations from the market value, fair market value. Let's say, for example, the markets are can be sometimes markets can create certain opportunities to the traders. So where the arbitrators will enter into the market and try to make use of these arbitrators, these opportunities. For example, in Bombay Stock Exchange, the asset price may be to some extent, and the NSE National Stock Exchange, where the same asset price may be something else. Now there is a price difference between the asset price in Bombay Stock Exchange and the National Stock Exchange. Then the arbitrators may step into to make use of this particular opportunity to make some kind of profit. Say Reliance Industries Limited may trade at 1000 rupees at NSE, whereas the same Reliance Industries share price may trade at 99 or 998 or 999 in some other stock exchange like BSE. So in such a scenario, the arbitrators will enter into market quickly and try to make use of this opportunity and finally ensure that the same share price prevails in both the National Stock Exchange and the Bombay Stock Exchange as well. So in this particular example scenario, the share price may be ended up with 999.5. So when the arbitrators step into, then the asset price will move in this particular way. So the arbitrage pricing theory is a multi-factor asset pricing model on the idea that the assets returns can be predicted using the linear relationship between the assets expected return and the number of macroeconomic variables that capture systematic risk. So the different number of macroeconomic factors are being taken into consideration for the assessment of fair value of the asset under the asset pricing model, that is APT, arbitrage pricing theory. And another thing is that the relationship between the assets return is having a relationship between the the assets expected return and the various number of macroeconomic variables in a linear relation. Now let's see the assumptions of this arbitrage pricing theory. The first and foremost assumption for the arbitrage pricing theory is the asset returns are explained by the systematic factors. So there are some systematic factors which can explain the asset returns, mean that there are various systematic factors like market and other related factors which will influence the asset returns. And investors can build a portfolio of assets where specific risk is eliminated through diversification. So the diversification is nothing but allocation of money into various asset classes. So this, the kind of diversification that can eliminate one of the component of risk, that is unsystematic risk. So this unsystematic risk can be eliminated, and that is also being taken as one of the assumption for the arbitrage pricing theory, wherein only it considers the systematic risk and doesn't consider the unsystematic risk that exists, because that has been already diversified and the risk is being taken as eliminated. And no arbitrage opportunity exists among well diversified portfolios. So definitely, when a portfolio is well diversified, then definitely there is no arbitrage opportunity can exist. And if any arbitrage opportunities do exist, they will be exploited away by the investors definitely, and the investors or arbitragers will get into market and try to understand where there is an opportunity and try to exploit it and try to vanish the opportunity. Now you can see the formula for arbitrage pricing theory. As we said that there is a relationship between the expected return and other economic variables. So where the expected return (ERI) of an asset is having a relationship between the linear relationship between the other variables like risk-free rate of return and then sensitivity of asset price to the macroeconomic factor, that is BN. So which is nothing but a systematic risk due to various macroeconomic factors. So in the capital asset pricing model, only we consider that the systematic risk is the only factor, but here the systematic risk with respect to the various macroeconomic factors is being factored here. That is also one of the consideration here. And then GI is the risk premium associated with the factor I. So how much, and also the risk premium associated with the other factor, that is I. So there may be even other types of incidences where they can hit the return of the asset. That's also been taken here. So while the asset pricing model is more complex than the capital asset pricing model, but it is more complex, but this capital asset pricing model may takes account into one factor, that is market risk, but the asset pricing model ABT, arbitrage pricing model, that ABT formula has multiple factors and it takes the considerable amount of research to determine how sensitive a security is to various macroeconomic risks. So means many other also, risks also are being taken into consideration while calculating the asset prices under the arbitrage pricing theory. But whereas the CAPM capital asset pricing model doesn't consider all these factors, but only systematic risk is considered. So means while considering the most available risk factors while assessing the asset pricing model, while assessing the asset price to give the accurate result than the simple factors that have been affected or considered. That's why the arbitrage pricing theory is considered as the superior model than the capital asset pricing model. Now let us discuss about a simple problem on the asset pricing model. The following are the four factors have been identified as explaining a stock's return and its sensitivity to each factor and the risk premium associated with each factor have been calculated. Now, so as we discussed, there are other factors also been affecting the share price or this the asset price. Those are also being taken into consideration under arbitrage pricing theory. Now let us see the information given in the problem, that is gross domestic product GDP growth rate, that is beta equals to 0.6 and return of portfolio, that is 4%. And inflation rate, so another component, macroeconomic risk component, that is interest rate, that is beta equals to 0.8, whereas GDP, gross domestic product, that is also considered as one of the economic factor which influence the market. So that is what a gross domestic product. So that is where beta is 0.6 considered and the return of portfolio is 4%. And the inflation rate is another macroeconomic variable that has been given as 0.8 as the sensitivity, and the return of portfolio is given as 2%. And the gold prices increases, decreases, which may also have an impact on the asset prices of others. That's why that is also been taken as one of the macroeconomic factor which influences the asset price, where beta equals to minus 0.7 and RP return of portfolio is 5%. And the Standard and Poor's 500 index, the standard index return also mean risk and return also been considered here, that is 1.3 beta, that is risk, and then return of portfolio of Standard and Poor 500 index, that is 9%, is given. And the risk-free rate of return that is also given here, that is 3%. Now you can see, using the arbitrage pricing theory, the expected rate of return can be calculated as a linear relationship. That is, the expected return equals to a risk-free rate of interest, that is 3%, plus the gross domestic product wise the risk is 0.6, and the gross domestic product wise the return is 0.7. That is what 4% means 0.7. So if you consider all these factors and calculate the sum of all the risk parameters and the risk, mean the product of return and the risk at the end, you will get the expected rate of return, that is 15%, 15.2%. So means when you consider all the risks associated with the gross domestic product, inflation rate, gold prices, okay, and also the risk-free rate of return, that is 3%. So then the expected return now comes around 15.2%. So this return must be used by the investor to discount the asset to get the value of the asset using the asset pricing. Arbitrage pricing. It means whenever you want to value any asset, you need to discount the value, future value, and you must know the discounting factor. So whereby by solving the various, considering the various risky parameters of the various factors like GDP and inflation or major macroeconomic factors, then you will come to know about the actual discounting factor number. So now you get the discounting factor number when you factor all these major macroeconomic variables, that is 15.2%. And if you consider this as the discounting factor and then discount any asset, then you will find out the fair value of that particular asset using the arbitrage pricing theory. So that's what. Let's conclude the topic by saying the arbitrage pricing theory as an alternative model to capital asset pricing model tries to explain the asset or portfolio returns with systematic factors and asset or portfolio sensitivities to such factors. And the theory estimates the expected return of a well-diversified portfolio, so with underlying assumption that portfolios are well diversified and any discrepancy from the equilibrium price from the market would be instantaneously driven away by the markets, by the investors. So this is how the arbitrage pricing theory can help the investors to understand the valuing various assets. Thank you very much.